Good morning, one and all. I hope that I am audible.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yes, thank you. On behalf of NIPMD, Department of Therapeutics, Occupational Therapy, I'm happy to invite you all for the fourth webinar of us. Today, we are going to talk about what are the activities and how it will improve our handwriting skills. So this is the fourth webinar topic which we are going to conduct today. Today, our resource person is Mrs. Nivedita Priyadarshini, who is working as a senior clinical therapist in our department. She is going to share her knowledge and her experiences and related to the handwriting skills. She is going to focus on what is handwriting skills and what are the fundamentals to improve our handwriting and which are the factors may affect our handwriting skills, and these are the things she is going to explain. Along with that, she is going to give few tips how the handwriting for our kids can be improved and what are the activities can be designed based on the individual ability, and she is going to focus on what are the adaptations can be incorporated in related to the handwriting skill. So on behalf of the participants, I would like to invite our resource person, Mrs. Nivedita Priyadarshini, to take the session. Thank you all. And I would like to request you all to keep your audio as well as video in off mode. Kindly mute yourself. It will help for the presenter as well as to the participants to get the full benefit. Thank you all. Nivedita Priyadarshini ma'am,
Yes, sir.
take the session. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Good morning, everyone. So today I'm going to present about activities of improving handwriting skills. Thank you, sir, for giving me the opportunity. Now I am going to share my slides. Sir, slides are visible, sir?
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
Thank you, sir. So, as our topic is activities for improving handwriting skills, first we all should know what is handwriting skills. So, handwriting skill is a complex skill of using language by pencil grip, letter formation, and body posture. There are many skills involved in handwriting, including vision, eye-hand coordination, muscles memory, posture, body control, as well as pencil grabs and letter formation. So basically, if we are going to tell, that means handwriting is it is a skill. It is the result of a lot of skills and that is like including vision means like what we are seeing, eye hand coordination, how we are going to write, muscles memory, what we have remembered, posture, how our posture is stable or unstable, in which way we are going to sit, body control, as well as the pencil grabs, like how much pressure we supposed to put on the pencil while we are holding, and how we were forming the letters like curved line, then slanting line, standing line. These are all matters while we are going for a handwriting one. So now we will go with the components. So components, first is the visual motor skill. So as our term is like visual motor skill, so first let's break it. So first we will break, like one we can take visual in one side and motor in one side. So visual means what we are able to see. Motor means movements. So that means if we are going to make a sentence, that means The ability to interpret visual information and respond with a motor action. That means what we are seeing and what we are doing, that is called visual motor skills. So example, kind of like at the time of cricket, so while we are playing the cricket, at that time we are we are holding the bat. So while the ball is coming, that means we have to hit the ball. So that is called visuomotor skill. So like the thing is like what we are seeing and what we are doing in the movement. Then second, it is coming visual perceptual skill. So again we will come for the, if we will breaking it as like visual, what we are able to see, and perception is the, it is the mechanism by which the brain interprets sensory information received from the environment. That means if in the simple sentence, if we are going to say, it will be see, process and correlate. What we have seen, that we have to process. Suppose we have seen a bird is sitting on the tree. So while we are presenting in front of someone, that time we have to we have already seen there is a bird. Then we have to process, where was the bird? Bird was sitting on the tree. Then we have to correlate why bird is sitting in the tree, because usually birds should they should sit on the tree or somewhere. If it is a like a hot season, then birds supposed to sit in the branch. So that is called visuoperceptual skill. Then we are coming in eye-hand coordination. So in eye-hand coordination, what will be the things? Ability to do activities that require the simultaneous use of our hand and eyes. So in eye-hand coordination, what usually we supposed to do at a time, simultaneously at a time, our hands and eyes should do some simultaneously that work. Suppose while someone is throwing the ball, we have to catch the ball. That means we have in simultaneously we have to think that we have to catch the ball and we have to focus on the force, how much force we need to catch the ball. Then three-jaw chalk. Three-jaw chalk is otherwise known as tripod graphs. So holding an object with an opposed thumb and the index and the middle fingers. So it is called, like while we are holding the pencil, it is the like even we can demonstrate, like if all can hold the pencil. Sorry. So while we are holding the pencil, everybody just try while holding the pencil, you can see like an thumb should be in the opposite position and the index and the middle finger. So that is called three-jaw chalk or tripod graphs. So it is usually developing at the age of 3 to 4 years. Now we will come for the cognitive skill. So what is cognitive skill? First we will focus. The cognitive skill is the integrated function of the human mind that together results in thought and goal-directed action. So it is a human mind that together result in thought and goal-directed actions. So in simple language, we can tell cognitive skills, it is the collection plus interpretation and presentation. What our mind is collecting, what our brain is interpreting, and what we are presenting. That is called cognitive skill. So it is varies from child to child. It is depends upon how cognitive skill we are having, how much higher, how much lower. Okay. So according to hierarchy, it will be 3 kinds. So first will be coming primary cognitive capacities. So in primary cognitive capacities, what are the things will come in? Orientation. So what will be orientation is also known as the awareness of self in relation to person, place, time and circumstances. That means suppose like one person, he is supposed to understand it is the daytime or night time. He is supposed to know whether it is a home environment or it is a outside environment. According to that, the person has to behave. Like in a home environment, as much as the person will be free, in outer environment, he should not be. He should behave in social way. That is called the orientation. Then we will come in the for attention. Attention means development of mental resource for concentration. So it will be like it. Attention means like whenever we are doing some work, how much concentration we need and how much suspense it will be. Suppose some child is we are giving one activity. Suppose reading activity to a kid. One kid is doing that for 3 minutes. So but after 3 minutes he is going away. That means that his attention is very low. With the with concentration only he is able to do for the 3 minutes, and it is varied to the age limit. If a 2 years kid is sitting for 3 minutes, then it is enough. But if a 5 years kid is sitting for 3 minutes and doing the reading, and after that he is running away, that means it is not the age appropriate skill. So like attention is 4 types: sustained, selective, divided, and alternative. Then we will come for the memory. So in memory, it will be the information of storage and retrieval. So suppose we have seen we have gone to the zoo. We have seen a white tiger there. Okay, so it will be storage in our mind. So when we are coming and someone is asking where you have seen that white tiger, then we will see we have gone to the zoo and we have seen the white tiger. So that is the what is happening at that time. That memory has been stored and we are retrieving. That is called the memory. So memory is 3 types: sensory storage, short term, and long term. Now, second is our higher level thinking abilities. So higher level thinking abilities means we have to think little bit higher, where the cognitive we need a little bit more cognitive power to think that. One is our problem solving, second is our reasoning, and third is our concept formation. Then third is our meta processing abilities. Meta processing abilities is cognitive functions and self-awareness are meta process that contributes initiation, planning, monitoring, reflection, and self-evaluation. So it is meta processing means it is the result of both cognitive function and self-awareness. That is the result of our meta processing abilities, which will including initiation. While we are doing some work and we are going to start, that is called initiation, and planning. How we are going to finish that work, that is called planning. Monitoring. So while we are planning and we are planning to finishing that work, so how we are going to do, and during that work some harm will not be there, some negative things supposed not to be happen, like that. It is called monitoring. Reflection and self evaluation. So it is 2 types: one is executive function and second is your self awareness. Then it is coming hand dominance. So hand dominance means like sometimes we have seen some childs are writing in the right hand and some childs are writing in the left hand. But usually what we are thinking, like we should write in the right hand. But it is not a good one. Like suppose the child is comfortable with the left hand, let him write in the left hand, because he is quite comfortable in the left hand, and in that left hand he is having this perfect strength, perfect grip and all. So while we are going for a handwriting skill, we should focus on this part also, hand dominance. If we are forcing the child, no, you are start writing in the right hand, then it will be little bit difficult for the child to accept. And if he is not able to accept, then he will show all the tantrums, like he will not hold the pencil, he will not write properly, he will see the pencil and he will throw. While we are calling for some activity, he will start crying, so he will start throwing all the tantrum. So hand dominance is really a uh, we can tell like important part for the handwriting skills. Then we will come for the right left discrimination. So right left discrimination, it is a complex process that calls upon several higher functions, including visual processing, memory, language, and integration of sensory information. So, like, and why right and left discrimination is really important for the child, because if the child will not able to understand this is the right part and it is the left part, and if we're started writing from the, while in the page we should start writing from the left to right, but if the child will start writing left to right, then it will be a confusing. He will not able to understand where we supposed to start. So in that case we need to teach how right and left discrimination, which is the right and which is the left side of the body. So it will help him for the while he will start writing, or while he will start doing some activity, he can understand like it is the left direction and it is the right direction. Then come for the visuospatial orientation. So visual spatial orientation is the ability to perceive, analyze, synthesize, manipulate, and transfer visual patterns and images. So whenever we are giving a child, we are giving on paper, and in that paper we have made some design. It is a round shape, or it is a square, or it is a hexagonal we have made, and we are asking the child to copy it out. So if the child doesn't have the visual spatial orientation, like if he will not able to understand ki what's the really things are going on, then he will have a problem while he is writing. So while he will start copying the shape, he will not able to do that. So it is really an important part to understand visual spatial orientation. Then we will come for the grip and pin strength. So to grip and pin's strength is like while we are holding the pen, that is a grip. Okay, so and we really need to focus ki how much pressure the child supposed to need to hold the pencil, how much, but like if the pinch has not been developed, then the child will not able to hold the pencil in the proper position. So it is really needed for the child to, uh, before starting the handwriting skill, we should know कि how much grip and spin strength the child is having. So now it is coming the foundational skill needed for handwriting mechanics. So first it will come the sensory processing. Then it will come the visual perception and ocular control. So like as ocular control, it is nothing. It is the control between our eyes. So what we have seen, and if our eyes is working perfectly, like from right to left, up and down, then only the child will able to see and the child will able to process. Then proximal control and proximal stability. So if the child, if the shoulder joint will not be stable properly, then if there is a weakness and there is a tremor in the hand, then while he will write the letters and all, it will affect. The child will not able to hold the pencil as it will be start tremoring, and even he will not able to write properly. So proximal control and stability is really needed. Foundational fine motor skill. It is really a very important perspective for the handwriting skill. So fine motor skills matlab whatever we are doing in the hand, like whether it's a beading activity, whether it is a pegboard activity, coin dropping activity, it's all come under the fine motor activity. So it will help the developing of the graphs, your prehensions skills, and hand function development. So then it's all the factors is affecting our handwriting mechanism. So in a handwriting mechanism, all are really having a important role. So while we are writing, we have to see all the perspectives. Now it is a pyramid of handwriting skills. So in pyramid of handwriting skills, so we'll start with, first we can see is a central nervous system. So it is a CNS. Then it has divided into three parts. One is your proprioception, second is your vestibular, and third is your tactile. So proprioception means body awareness. So how, like while with the child will hold the pencil, or like a child supposed to understand how to keep the hand on the table, or how to hold the pencil. Then vestibular means movements. So movements means he has to sit. If the child has to sit in one place, or he has to go move the hand left to right. And tactile means touch. If the child is having the sensory tactile issue, he will not touch the pencil. And sometimes the child that they don't want to hold anything while they are having the tactile issue. That time we have to focus on that, how to reduce it, how to channelizing the tactile issues. So we have a lot of activity for that. And then we will go for the visual and auditory. Visual means vision, and auditory means hearing. So that means what the child is seeing and what he is listening. According to that, whether he is able to correlate it and present it, that we have to see. Then we should go for the sensory motor. Sensory motor, if we are having sensory motor development, it will come like balance or postural stability, motor planning, proximal stability, and strength and endurance. Then we will go for the visual processing, visual attention, visual perceptual, visual motor integration. Then we will go for the fine motor, in hand manipulation, grasp, and pressure control. Then handwriting. In handwriting skill, it will come the letter formation, sizing, spacing, alignment, and spread or speed or endurance. Then it will come for the legible handwriting. So all these factors are affecting for our good handwriting. So while we will go for the handwriting skill, we have to focus in all the area. In some area, if the child will be lacking, then we have to focus on that, whether it is a sensory part, or whether it is a visual attention, or it is like memory, or it is a letter. If the child is really good in all the area, finally we have to see whether child is able to form the letter, or like if he is forming the letter also, the size of the letter are accurating, or while he is writing, whether space of the two words are okay or not. Then we will go with the characteristics of good handwriting. So what is a good handwriting? So whenever we are seeing someone's handwriting, we are saying, oh, it's a really good one. Or like some are writing in the small letter, but it is also looking good. But we have a characteristic which we are calling a good handwriting. So it is a line quality. So while line quality means, while the line should be right, left to right, and it should be in a proper way. In and proper way matlab, like it should be in a straight line. Then and while the sentence will be there from paragraph, then the space between the paragraphs should be in a proper manner, so that when we will look it, we can read it properly, we can understand what to see the line, we can understand what is the concept is there. Then word and letter spacing. So while we are writing the letter, that time we should have some space. I have remembered when I was a child and I have started writing, that time my dad was telling me to put one finger gap. That means if we are putting one finger gap for the two words, then we can see it nicely, we can visualize it, we can, while we will see the letter or we can see the word, we can understand, okay, this word, suppose this the word is apple. Okay, apple means so this word is apple. So apple is, it's a like we can understand this properly. Then a size consistency. If while we are writing, suppose in the word from first letter is the capital, then second one is the small. According to that, if the size consistency will be there, it will look really good. Then pen lips. while we are writing, we have to lift the pen. So if we are lifting the pen, it will give a good decorum to the paragraph. Connecting the strokes. Letters complete. Cursive and printed letter. So pen pressure. Pen pressure is a like while we are writing, sometimes what happens, some people are writing in such a way, whatever we are writing on the first page, it will be copied in the second page. Okay, so like, but while we will turn the page, that same mark will be there, and it will be really difficult for us to write that, or like for the same person to write there, and sometimes we will be getting confused in between that. So it is really needed how much pain, how much pressure we should put on the paper. Then slant, baseline habits, flourishes and embellishment, and diacritic placement. So now we will go for the what is a pencil grip. A good pencil grip or grasp pattern allows the child to keep the wrist steady and make small movements of the fingers to move the pen tip in the different direction to create short, straight, and curved lines. So these adapted grip are functional as they provide both stability as well as allow small fingers movement. So while a good pencil grasp is like while you are having the pencil properly, holding the pencil properly while you are writing, and you are able to lift it, and while you are writing some straight and curved line also you can able to make. That is called a good pencil grip. Now you can see this is the thumb wrap, transformer, thumb truck, interdigital brace, index grip, supinate. According to the age, the pencil grasp will be like it is the development of the pencil grasp according to the age. In 10th month, pencil grasp should be developed. 12 to 15 months, palmar supinator grasp should be developed. 2 to 3 years, digital pronate grasp should be developed. 3 to 4 years, static tripod grasps or quadruped grasps should be developed. 4 to 6 years, dynamic tripod grasps should be developed. So while we are going for the evaluation of the handwriting skill, we can go through the age also. So if the child is coming to us in 3 to 4 years, we have to check in like pincer graph also. We have to check whether the child is having that or not. If it is not there, then we have to give the activity according to that. If the child is having the pincer grip and palmar supinator graphs, and but he doesn't have the digital graphs, according to that we have to plan our activities what to give to develop the digital pronator graphs skill. Now developing stages of the hand graphs. So it is the cylindrical graphs, tip, hook or snap, palmar graphs, spherical graphs, and lateral graphs. Now we will come for the hand function skill. So as we are discussing about the handwriting skill, I think hand function skill is having a really a great role for the handwriting skills. So in hand function, first we will come with the hand dominance. As we have already discussed that hand dominance means we have to see which hand is literally working for the individual. If the child is quite comfortable with the right hand, he is doing a 95% work in the right hand and 5% work in the left hand, that means in that case right hand is the dominance. But if the child is doing 95% work in the left hand and 5% work in the right hand, then that case the child hand dominance is left hand. So according to that, if the child is quite comfortable with the left hand, then we can ask the child to continue the writing in the left hand. Because the child is having the proper pressure, proper skill in the left hand, and there is nothing wrong if the child is writing in the left hand. So as a parent, we should not force him to write in the right hand, because if we'll force him, okay, somehow starting he will resist. Then after that he will think, okay, mama is asking me to write in the right hand, let's try. If he will try, he will not be comfortable, and the good handwriting will not come. So that's why hand dominance skill is really a big role while we are assessing, while we are working on the. Then we will come for the initiation. So initiation means the action of beginning up something. Example, to hold the glass and hold the glass, hand should lift and go forward. Okay, so initiation means the action of beginning of something. Suppose the glass is placed on the table. So to hold the glass, we have to lift our hand, then we have to reach to the glass. So initiation means lifting of the hand. Once we will lift, then only we will reach to the glass. Na? So that's why that is called initiation, and that is really important for the handwriting skill. Then it is called reach. Reach is nothing but stretch out an arm in specified direction in order to touch or hold. Same example, if we will take that glass also. Suppose glass is in front of us, the table is in front of the us, and the glass is over the table. So that means what we supposed to do? We have to stretch our hand and hold the glass. That means we have to stretch our hand in the front direction so that we can reach to the glass. And after that, it is that. And after that, it is grabs. Grabs is nothing, a farm hold. Example, while we are holding something, it is a farm, we are just holding something. So it is three types. One is your raking grabs, second is your palmar grabs, and third is your pincer grabs. So raking grabs is the fingers not including the thumb, and then it is then palmar grabs. Palmar grabs is like squeezing against the palm instead of against themselves. So it will be developed according to the age of 6 months. And coming for the pincer grabs, the pointer finger and the thumb squeeze the grabs and object. It will be developed 9 to 10. Then we will come for the grip. Grip and grabs. It is we cannot tell like it is totally together. Like whatever the question, can we discuss after the presentation, please, ma'am? After the presentation, I'll give some time. Just ask me the question and I'll give you the answers. Thank you. So grip and grab, it is like I cannot tell that it is together, but grabs means we are holding. Grip means it is this type, like we are holding same thing, but both are not that much of equal. Only thing is like while we are having the while we are holding the pencil, that is we can tell it is a grip. But while we are holding a glass, and that is we can call the grabs. It is same, it is holding something with the pressure. Then it is called the release. Release means allow something to move or act or flow freely. So while we are holding something, and we are holding something and we are just allowing the something to go. Suppose we are holding a pen and we are allowing the pen to go, that is called release. So while in the handwriting skill, why it is important, while we are writing somewhere we have to stop. While we have to stop, if our hand is paining, like while writing somewhere where our hand got tired, then we can release the pencil and we can take some rest. And it is really needed for this, for the handwriting skill. Then we are coming for the prehension skill. So in prehension skill, it is in In prehension skill, it involves moving the hand to an object, a confident shaping of the hand in anticipation of the object, and final closing of the fingers to the formulate the grasp. So in prehension skill, what will be happening? Except the power grasp, we can tell all the things can come under the prehension skills like tip to tip, hoop, tripod grabs, pad to pad, all the things will come for the prehension skill. So then while we'll come for the non-prehension, so it will be a not adapted for the grasping or squeezing. That means we can tell push and pull, we can tell for the non-prehension skills. Now we will come for the now we will come for the in-hand manipulation. So in-hand manipulation, it is it involves the manipulating an object with one hand. So it can come for the shifting object from one place to another, that we can tell it is the shifting. Translation, rotation, while we for a like the jar of a dabba, we can open it, that is called the rotation, and it is, our full hand is involving in that. And cascading, while we are mixing the rice with the dal, or sambar with the dal, rasam with the dal, the rasam with the rice, that time while we are mixing in the hand, that is called the cascading. Now we can see like cylindrical graphs, it will be developed in 1.5 years. Digital graphs, it will be developed 2 to 3 years. Modified tripod graphs, it should be developed 3.5 to like 4 years. And tripod graphs, it should be developed 4.5 years to 7 years. Now we will, it is a triangle like text generation, words or sentence or disclosure. Working memory. So in working memory, it will be like activities, long-term memory composing and short-term memory reviewing. Then translation, handwriting, keyboard and spelling. Then it will be like executive function, consciousness, attention, planning, reviewing, revising, strategy for self-regulation. Now we will come for the pre-writing skill. Pre-writing skill is the first stage of the writing process, followed by drafting and reviewing. It is the time when students brainstorm their thoughts and ideas about a topic to prepare for a drafting. So pre-writing skill, nothing like, suppose we are asking the child to give, we have sown an apple, sowed an apple. So child has to see that apple, okay, he has to think what he should write about the apple. As he knows it is an apple, apple is a fruit we are eating, the color is red, it is coming from the from a cold area, and we can storage it in the freeze, and it is good for health. This thing he has to process in the mind, and he has to prepare how he has supposed to write. That is called the writing process, followed by the drafting and reviewing. Then it is components areas are students creates a plan on an outline or a roadmap for the writing. The plan focus content area. What should be the content? What we should, suppose if we are taking the example of the apple, we supposed to what should be the content and what should be the purpose, why he is writing, intended the audience, if he will write, and how audience will accept that. Goals and genre. Integrated online and offline tools to the pre-writing process. So nowadays, like, we are having a lot of online and offline tools. So in manipulatives, interacting whiteboards, web-based applets, math drawing tools, calculators, 3D design software, graphing and charting software. There is a lot of software where you can write on the, you can start writing, and which will give you a like the child will show more interest while writing the while he will start writing the handwritings. Then possible strategies, provide students with direct instruction. So while we will ask for the handwriting, we should provide the student with a direct instruction. So introduce the tools that help the students generate ideas, such as story maps, outlines, and graphic organizer. Then we will help the students write for a variety of purposes. Help the student understand the role of audience based on the purpose of writing. Engage the students in ongoing assessment. So provide guiding questions to help the student to shape their pre-writing plans. This is the correct way how to hold the pencil. If you are the left-handed, you can hold the pencil like this, and if you are the right-handed, you should hold the pencil like this. After development of the pre-writing skill strategies, so provide students with the direction in the direct instruction that teach students how to review and revise their pre-writing plans. Help students write for a variety of purposes. Engage students in ongoing assessment. So even for the before I can tell, like for in the pre-writing handwriting skills also, we are usually giving the child for a slate, like on the slate or a papers. We can give the dot to dot joining. We can give the standing line, curved line, slanting line, C-shaped line. So it will help him to go for the handwriting skills, like it will help him to writing to form the letters. So keys to improve handwriting: put the reader first. Use simple words and short sentence. Use jargon only when necessary. Write with verbs and nouns. Format to improve the readability. Put the reader first. Communication is equal to understanding. Whatever the child has to write, if it is a communication, the audience should understand that part. Write to express, not to impress. Use words readers can picture. Tie into the reader's experience. What is in it if it is not for me? Write with verbs and nouns. Use the active voice when it is okay to use passive voice. Format document to improve readability. Use leads, bullets, charts, tables, indents, italics, bolds, headings, and subheadings. The 100-word rule. So while we will put these bullets and all, we can know the importance, which line is important, which is really important for the student, for the child, or for the readers. Plan, organize, write. As you begin, assemble all useful information. Determine what's important. Choose what to leave out. Group information logically. Organize. In organize, uses division, compare or contrast, cause and effect, problem analysis, solution. Division. Start with the main idea, then discuss the part. That is like, suppose if we'll take about a pen, what is the pen? That will be the main idea. And what is the use of pen? Then we will start the part of we can break it into the parts, and that parts it's called division. Compare. Use familiar to explain unfamiliar. Put the conclusion up front. Cause and effect. Parents present a clear way analysis. Now we will come for the activities which we really need for to develop our handwriting skills. As handwriting skill is a purely fine motor, so we will focus on the developing of the hand, developing of the finger activity and all. So first we will go with the beading activity. So beading activity, if we will hold in the tripod, like we will hold it, it will help for the like tripod graphs will be developed. Okay, so while we'll giving the beading, it will help the child to develop eye-hand coordination, concentration, sequencing, and color concept also. So it will help the while we will do the beading, and that time we'll ask the child, once beading he will do perfectly in the string or whether in the stick stand, then we will ask the child to hold the crayons or a pencil. The child will able to hold that. Then we will come for the clay activity. In clay activity, while we are giving the clay activity to increase the strength of the fingers. So while the some child, they don't want to hold the pencil because of whether they are having the low turn or they are having a sensory issue. In the, if they are having the sensory issue, we are giving the clay activity, and clay will be like different color, and we can tear the clay, we can tear it in the small pieces, we can make it a circular, we can make a lot of design from the clay. So while we will see, while the child will see that, he will have a, like the child will having a interest in that. So even he will start playing with the clay. So in that clay, what will happen, so while he will start like mixing the clay, it will help him to develop the cascading. While he will start the pressing the clay, it will help to develop the prehension skills. Then we will come for the painting. So painting, it will help the child to come for the interest. Like some child, everything will be fine, like the child is hand function skill is also fine. He is like child is able to hold the pencil also in a proper manner, but he doesn't want to write. So in that case, we can use the painting as a reinforcement. So we can take a white color chart sheet, or we can take the white color board also, and we can give the child the colors, some colors, and we can ask the child to first paint the whiteboard. In that paint, we will start writing A, B, C, D. Then child will show the interest. Okay, in that paint something is interesting is happening. So in that way also, we can teach the child in a handwriting. We can teach the child how to start letter formation, or how to start the standing line, slipping line. In that, caught and pasting. Cutting and pasting is like, it is the hand function skill. So it will help the child to go for the hand manipulation skill. So while he's cutting and pasting, it will help the child for the eye hand coordination. Then it will help the child to identify the left and right, how to cut, how much pressure he's supposed to put on the paper, and how much pressure he's supposed to put in the hand to put the put the cutting piece on the paper. So it will help, kind of, we can tell it is a prehension, it will help to develop the prehension skills. And cutting and pasting, it will help the child to remember, to memorize the like letters and numbers in a good way. Memory games with the letters and words, it is a really a good activity for the for the kids who really like naughty kind, and they want to remember the things. So memory games, like we can make the child to sit in front of us. We can show them ABCD and 1 2 3 4. Then what we can do, we can just mix it off, and we will then we can mix it off, and we will ask the A is there, in which side A is there, whether it's in the left side or whether it's the right side, or whether A is on the middle side. So it will help the child to identify the orientation of the word. So it will help the child to memorize also where the A is there, and we can tell it is A. Even he will able to visualize the thing, and he will process it, and he can memorize it. Then writing tray. So usually writing tray we are using for the kids who is very naughty, who doesn't want to sit in one place, and and the child who is like they want to write everything, and they don't want to hold the pencil. So in writing tray, what we can do, we can take a tray, we can put the sand, we can put the foam, we can and in the sand we can make some different color, like one sand can be red color, one sand can be white, like white color, one sand can be blue color. So in there we can start writing A, we can start writing B, or 1 2 3, or some or like shapes also we can, like square, circle we can put. So what will happen, the child will feel like, child will get the interest. And if the child is having the sensory issue, like he doesn't want to touch the messy things, then instead of using the play-doh, we can use the writing tray having the sand. So it will help him to desensitize the tactile issue. Now it will be the finger play. So in finger play is like we can take that some small some toys, and we can write in finger a 1 2 3 4 5 or ABCD. That rhyme is there one daddy finger, like in that in thumb we can write the daddy finger or a finger. Instead of daddy finger we can tell that ki a finger. Like in that, if we'll start playing with that, then the child will able to understand, like, okay, this is one, this is two. Even we can ask the child to play in that also. In his finger we can write ABCD 1 2 3 4, and we will start we will ask the child to copy what we are playing. Then it will help him for the handwriting skill. He will able to memorize. So once he will start memorizing, he will start holding the pencil. Once he'll start holding the pencil, then we will start for the pre-writing skills. Then sensory writing bags. So sensory writing bags is nothing like it is we can take like foam, we can take the sand, we can take the clay box. That's all are coming under the sensory writing bags. Sand play. Sand play means like if the child is having the sensory issues, as I was telling about the tactile issue, we can give the sand one. We can put some water in the sand, and we can ask the child to squeeze it. We can so what will happen while child will start playing with the sand, it will develop is the in hand manipulation, like rotation he can do, the translation, he can do the cascading also. So it will help him for the pre-writing skill. Then we will come for the squeezing glue bottle or staple. The squeezing glue bottle, if we will go for this, then it is also one kind of hand function activity. So it is the cylindrical graphs we can tell. So if squeezing means it will give the strength to the hand. It will give the it will help the child who is having the low turn. It will help the child to have the strength in the hand. Then writing in a shaving cream or a whipped cream, it is really a fun activity for every kids. So we can take a tray, we can take the foam, and we can or in on a mirror in a mirror we can put the whipped cream, or in the shaving cream we can put one drop of every color. Like suppose we want to write in the green color, we can put a green color, and we can mix the green color in the shaving cream, and we can ask the child to write on that will start the child to tracing on the mirror or on the tray. So what will happen, it will be little bit something new, like the child will child will feel it is play kind of thing, that we can tell it is a play method also. In that play method, the child can go learn that learn how to write also. And as well as if the child is having the sensory issues like tactile issues or proprioceptive issues, then it will help the child to giving the sensory inputs. So these are the handwriting activities. Now we will come for the sensory based activities. Like the following activities are to be done frequently to increase the large muscle strengthened endurance. These activities also strengthen the child's awareness of his or her hands. So wheelbarrow walking or crab walking. Wheelbarrow walking means you have to just take the child lower limb off, and we just ask the child to walk on the hand. It will give the support, and it will give the stability of the, it will improve the stability of the shoulder and elbow joint. It will give the strengthening of the hands, and if the child is having the low turn, child will slowly the child will cooperate. Clapping games. Catching bubbles between the hands. So it will be the like clapping. If once if will blow, then we can tell that hold the bubbles, and bubbles we cannot hold it. So automatically it will be a clapping one. Then another is we draw in the tactile medium such as wet sand, salt, rice, or goop. Make goop adding colored water to construct until you have a mixture similar in consistency to the toothpaste. So even if we are having the if you don't have the clay also. So parents can take the things from the home also, like we in at home we are having the maida and we are having the wheat flour also. So in wheat flour also, in wheat flour or in maida, we can add some water and we can make it a dough. In that dough, even the child will, at the time of playing it, the child will eat also. It will not be that much harmful because we have not added any synthetic color to the dough. Okay, at home, child, if the parents are getting bored with with the regular activity, this activity can be performed for the for the kids. It will really help the child to it will help the child for gaining the gaining the strength in the hand. Now we will come with the adaptive device. It is the adaptive device to holding the pen. So if the child is having, if the child is not able to hold the pencil, then we can give a step. We can that in the palm area, we can give a strap, and this is the pencil holder. Pencil holder. So the child will, and in this. In this way, child can fix the finger and the child can write. This is the, we can finger grab, for finger grip we can use this one, and this is available in the online also. These parents can do at home. So like if the child is not able to hold the pencil, and the pencil is coming forward, to stabilize the pencil we can make it like in the rubber band. We have to just fix another rubber band, and that rubber band has to be put inside the pencil. It will be stable and the child will be able to write. This is an adaptive device where the finger, so where the finger and the thumb will be stabilized here. And this is another writing bar we are telling. That will be a sorry. In that it will be a like oval shape. In that oval shape there will be a hole. There we have to put the pen or pencil, and the screw is there. So in that screw you have to adjust according to the pressure. And if the child is having the problem in holding in a spherical graph, then we can give a this kind of ball or some spherical kind of things. So there what will happen, no, like we can make a hole in between the ball, and we can put the pencil according to the, and the child will able to hold the ball, and it will the circular graphs will be there, and the child will start writing. So now this is the question around. Just ask me the questions.
The floor is open for the participants. If there are any questions or queries from your side, you can ask the resource person.
Hello, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Can you suggest how to improve writing through memory?
Writing through memory, first we have to focus on the memory. So how much child is able to memorize? Suppose we are sewing a pen. May I know? Suppose we are taking a child like 2 years kid. So 2 years kid, what he will able to memorize? His food. Okay, his food or his things. So we have to see how much he is able to memorize. So suppose you are having the biscuit in the kitchen. And while he is feeling hungry, he is calling you, and either he is calling you or he will directly go to the kitchen and he will get the biscuit. If his memory is really good and he is able to do everything by independent, then he will go and he will get the biscuit from the kitchen. So you're asking, your question is like memory with the writing. So if the child will able to memorize like A to Z, then he will able to write. And if he is having a issue in holding the pencil, then ma'am we have to work over the handwriting skills. Okay ma'am, so like if he is able to memorize. Yes ma'am, yes ma'am.
For example, some spellings, like he may have difficulty in remembering the spelling. Next level, he has to write in a sentence. So those kind of, how to improve, like fill in the blanks, how we get in the exam, no? So those kind
Yes
of
ma'am,
memory
yes
improvement
ma'am.
techniques I wanted.
So ma'am, it is like it will go with the higher cognitive skills. So in cognitive skills, what we supposed to do? We will start with the sequencing. Okay, suppose the child will start. We can start with the sequencing for 2 step, then 3 step, then 4 step sequencing. After 3 steps sequencing, then we will go with the like we will give them the words like apple. He has to remember apple spelling, apple. Then once he will able to memorize that apple, then we have to go for the like we will give the task. We will write a then we will give us like fill in the blanks kind of things that we can give that type of activity. So and we can give a kind of little bit like puzzle kind of activity after in the sequence in sequencing a little bit a higher form of puzzle activity we can give. So it will help the child to uh, it will help the child to memorize the things, and then he will execute the handwriting things. Okay ma'am?
Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, thank you.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon ma'am. Yes ma'am, I'm listening.
Yes, ma'am. My question is, what if a child has hand dominance of 60:40? Like in left hand, he or she has 60, and in right 40. So, should we go considering it to be the left hand dominance, or we should try for right one?
Sorry ma'am, can you repeat please?
Ma'am, if the dominance, like the power, the child is using left hand more, like not much, like 60:40 is the using his hand, the child. So should we consider it to be the left hand dominance, or we should try for right hand? I mean, we should.
Ma'am, if he is comfortable doing the activity, doing all the work in the left hand, then we should go with and he is preferred to hold the pencil in the left hand, we should go for the left hand, ma'am. We don't need to force for the right hand. Okay, and it is the left hand dominance also.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
மேம் இப்போ என் மகன் பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் எப்படின்னா எழுதுறதெல்லாம் ஓகே, ரப் பண்றதுக்கும் ஓகே, ஷார்ப் பண்றதுக்கு மட்டும் என்கிட்ட வந்து ஷார்ப் பண்ணித்தாங்கன்னு கேட்பான். அதுக்கு எதனால அவனால ஏன் வந்து அந்த பென்சிலை வந்து திருக்க முடியலன்னு தெரியல. எவ்வளவு ட்ரெயின் பண்ணி பார்த்துட்டேன். ஷார்ப்னர் ஒரு கையில வச்சுட்டு இன்னொரு கையை வச்சு ஷார்ப் பண்ண வச்சோம் அப்படின்னா அந்த கையை திருக்கவே மாட்டேங்கிறான். ஷார்ப்னரா தான் திருக்குறான், அது ஃபோர்ஸா திருக்க மாட்டேங்கிறான். ஆனா எழுதுறது, டிரா பண்றது எல்லாமே நல்லா பண்றான்.
ஓகே. சோ நீங்க சொல்லிட்டீங்களா அது ஷார்ப்பனர் அந்த டைம்ல we are just rotating, அதுதான் வரல பசங்க கிட்ட, அதுதான் நீங்க சொல்லிட்டீங்களா?
ஆமா ஆமா, அதான் நான் உங்ககிட்ட கேட்டேன் எதனால அப்படி வந்து வரமாட்டேங்குது அப்படின்னு.
ஓகே, நீங்க என்னென்ன ஆக்டிவிட்டி ட்ரை பண்ணீங்கன்னா பாட்டில் மூடி இருக்கா?
ஓகே,
பாட்டில் மூடி அது ओपन and close पन्नेंगे, अदु एक्टिविटी करेंगे. स्क्रू ओपन and close, अदु एक्टिविटी करेंगे. Okay, door like handle is there ना मैम, अदु द open close अदु एक्टिविटी करेंगे. Most of the activity என்ன activity का rotationல இருக்காதே, अदु activity के we have to focus. ஓகே மேம்.
இல்ல அவன் வந்து பாட்டில திருக்குறான், மத்த எல்லாமே திருக்குறான், எல்லாம் செய்யறான். அப்ப நீங்க சொன்னீங்களே ஒரு டாக்டைல்னு சொன்னீங்களே, சாண்ட் பிளே வச்சு பழக்கி கொடுங்க, ஹேண்ட் ரொட்டேஷனுக்கு நல்ல இம்ப்ரூவ்மெண்ட் ஆகும் அப்படின்னு.
எஸ் மேம், பட் நான் என்ன சொல்லியாச்சேன்னா பசங்களுக்கு டாக்டைல் இஷ்யூ இருக்கா मतलब டாக்டைல் இஷ்யூ இருக்கா मतलब லைக் பசங்க த மெஸ்ஸி திங்ஸ் இருக்கு டச் பண்ண மாட்டா, கொல திங்ஸ் இருக்கு அதுதான் டச் பண்ண மாட்டா, அப்புறம் சாண்ட் பிளேல டச் பண்ண மாட்டா. ஓகே, அதுதான் டாக்டைல் இஷ்யூஸ் தான் மேம். ஓகே, பட் நீங்க சொல்லிட்டீங்களான்னா நல்லா எழுதிங்களா, நல்லா ராப் பண்ணிட்டீங்களா, அதுதான் நீங்க சொல்லிட்டீங்களான்னா அதுதான் பசங்க கிட்ட அதுதான் டாக்டைல் இஸ் பிரச்சனை இல்ல. ஒன்லி இப் தட் சர்பெனர் இருக்கானா அதுதான் லைக் சர்பெனர் இருக்கு, லைக் இட் இஸ் நாட், he is not able to rotate it, then we should go for the other activities, ma'am.
ஓகே மேம். அப்புறம் இன்னொரு கேள்வி என்னன்னா, அவனுக்கு வந்து பாயிண்டர் ஃபிங்கரும் தம்பு ஃபிங்கர் வச்சு நல்லா எழுதுறான், 3 ஃபிங்கர் யூஸ் பண்ண மாட்டான். உங்ககிட்ட காமிக்க வரும்போது நீங்க சொன்னீங்க அந்த ஒரு அந்த இது போட்டோ கூட காமிச்சிங்க, அந்த கிரிப் வச்சு பழக்கி கொடுங்க, அது வச்சும் பழக்கி பார்த்துட்டேன். அவனுக்கு இந்த பாயிண்டர் அண்ட் தம்பு தான் யூஸ் பண்றான். ஆனா எழுதுறதுலாம் நல்லா பெர்ஃபெக்டா தான் எழுதுறான். இப்பவும் நம்ம ஃபோர்ஸ் பண்ணலாமா இல்ல அப்படியே விட்டுறலாமா?
No, if pointer finger thumb finger யூஸ் பண்ணிட்டு நல்லா எழுதினீங்களான்னா அதுதான் நல்லா இருக்கு. பட் நீங்க ட்ரைபாட் கிராஃப்ஸ் எடுத்தீங்களான்னா நீங்க பீடிங் ஆக்டிவிட்டி கொடுங்க, ஓகே, பீடிங் ஆக்டிவிட்டி கொடுங்க, ப்ளே ஆக்டிவிட்டி கொடுங்க, ஓகே. ட்ரைபாட் மாதிரி 3 ஃபிங்கர் மாதிரி ஆக்டிவிட்டி கொடுங்க. பட் இல்லனா thumb and pointer finger யூஸ் பண்ணிட்டு நல்லா எழுதிங்களா அதுதான் ஓகே, நோ இஷ்யூ மேம்.
ஓகே ஃபைன் மேம், தேங்க்ஸ் a lot.
Thank you மேம்.
ரஷிதா மேடம்.
மேம் சார் சொல்லுங்க.
அவங்க சொல்றது ஓகேங்களா இல்ல தமிழ்ல இன்னொரு சொல்லணுங்களா?
இல்ல புரிஞ்சிருச்சு, அவங்க என்ன பேச வராங்க புரிஞ்சிருச்சு.
ஓகே, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hello ma'am, can you just once again explain what is the 3-jaw chalk activity?
Ma'am, 3-jaw chalk activity nothing, it is the tripod graphs. Okay ma'am, tripod graphs means we have to use thumb, index finger and our pointer finger. Okay, so it while we are holding the pencil, that time you can see like we are using three fingers to hold the pencil. So it is needed for the handwriting skill, because if the child will able to hold in this position, then only the child will write properly, no? So that's why 3-jaw chalk development supposed to be there. Okay ma'am. So if the child doesn't have if the child doesn't have the tripod graphs, then we have to give the beading activity, pegboard activity, then small small we can tell the cutting and pasting activity also we can give. Am I clear ma'am? Hello? Hello?
Yes, Nivedita ma'am, you are on the line. Yes, Nivedita ma'am, you are on the line. You are audible.
Yes ma'am. Yes ma'am.
Activity, can you give some examples please?
Hello? Yes ma'am. Yes ma'am.
Hello ma'am.
Yes ma'am.
Can I ask a question ma'am?
Yes ma'am.
Hello. What I want to know is that if a child is writing straight, okay? Hello.
Yes ma'am.
Yeah, if a child is writing straight, and he has considerable difficulty in that, okay? But he writes straight cursive, but he has
straight right cursive he is writing, okay ma'am.
But he has dysgraphia, he has dyslexia, and he has spelling difficulty also.
Okay.
When he's he can say the answers, very intelligent child, but when he says the answers, he is not able to write, he's not able to generate sentences on the paper, but he is able to say. But my question is, if this child he writes straight, so if for better generation of sentences and better handwriting, should we shift him to slanted cursive?
No, if child is okay with the cursive line and all, ma'am, let it be like that. Okay, no need of shifting anywhere. Let it be. If he is quite okay, quite comfortable in that area, let him do. Don't need of to sitting some other things. Okay, ma'am.
I know, ma'am. What I'm asking is, he's writing straight cursive now. Okay, but he's, one letter is on top of the other. There is no spacing between the letters.
Okay.
For
Then
that,
yes,
should
ma'am.
we shift him to slanted cursive, or teach him with straight cursive only?
Straight cursive, ma'am. Straight cursive. Go with the straight cursive. Go with the parallel line of that handwriting. That Hindi note is coming, na? Parallel line. In
Yes.
that, you have start practicing in that. So first you start with the 3 letters, then 4 letters. Then in between that, you just put some gaps. Okay. So then you once he will be okay with the 2 lines note. Then you just go with the plain notes. Okay, like that only you can develop the straight line and all everything. Okay, ma'am?
Okay, so we needn't shift him to slanted cursive, right?
Yes, ma'am. No. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am, in 3 years, the child is writing in left hand.
Okay, ma'am.
Then she is forced to write in right hand,
Okay.
and it is continued. And
No.
handwriting is not good.
Yes, ma'am.
After 24 years, can it help to change the hand
No, ma'am.
dominance to left hand?
No, ma'am, we should not do that. If the child is quite okay with the left hand, let the child write in the left hand. Because, ma'am, see, writing is not right. We have to write. Why we are writing? To express our thoughts, right, ma'am? So if we are able to write in the left hand and we are able to express our thought, what we want to express, then it's fine, ma'am. No need of
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
No, ma'am. Like she, like 3 years, she is writing in left hand, and it is suddenly forced to right hand, and she is continuing in right hand, and it is not handwriting is not that much good. And in like 24 years, can we change to left hand for better handwriting?
Ma'am, if you are forcing after 3 years in the right hand, so in 24 years, definitely he will be comfortable with the right hand, na, ma'am? Then why we will go for the left hand again? And if he is writing in the right hand and the handwriting is not good, then allow him to write in the left hand. Then the handwriting will be good, no? Because he is comfortable with the left hand. And his hand dominancy in the writing area is the left. So not an issue, ma'am. Okay.
But forcing is not much good, no, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Not at all good. Don't force. Okay, ma'am. Let him do in the right hand.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Hello.
Yes.
Ma'am, I have one doubt.
Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Ma'am, if the child.
Hello.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. I'm listening.
Ma'am, my child is 8 years old.
Yes, ma'am.
Saranya Sri Selvaraj. Ma'am, you please ask.
Yes, sir. Hello, ma'am. Can I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, if the child's hand dominance is mixed, how we need to train them in handwriting skills?
Yes, ma'am. If the child hand dominance is right hand, right? You are asking me.
No, mixed dominance.
Ma'am, right or left dominance, ma'am?
She is using mixed dominance, ma'am. Sometimes she is using left hand and sometimes using right hand. So she is 4 years old. So how we need to train them?
So, ma'am, both hand we can teach, but I think he will child will be comfortable in the right hand. So you just ask the child in which hand he is comfortable. Sometimes what happens, the child is using both hand for writing also. In one side he can write and another side also in both hand they can write. Okay, just ask
Okay.
the child in which hand he is comfortable. If he is comfortable in the right side to write, then train him in the right way, right side. If he is telling no, I'm comfortable in the right hand, just go with the right hand. But usually, like very rare cases, it is there like the child is quite okay while they are writing in the both hand, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Nibedita ma'am. By considering the
Hello?
time,
Yes,
yes,
ma'am.
Shweta Jitu. Yes, you can proceed, ma'am. Shweta Jitu.
Sir,
Yes, thank you.
my child is 8 years old. She ADHD children.
Yes.
Yeah, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
My child is 8 years old. She ADHD children.
Yes, ma'am.
She writing in big size, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Handwriting is not good. How to improve in small size?
Okay, ma'am.
Hello?
So if the child is
She writing in
yes,
big
ma'am.
size,
Am
ma'am.
I audible, ma'am? Okay, ma'am.
Hello?
I'm telling you. Am I audible to you, ma'am? I'm telling you, ma'am, that solution I'm giving you. Am I audible to you, ma'am? Hello?
Yes, Nibedita ma'am, you are audible to us. Please go ahead.
Okay, sir. So if the child is writing in the plain paper in a big size, then we should go for the like parallel line. We have to put two lines, and in between two lines, we have to train the child to write in between that two lines. So what will happen? And we have to we have to first give him the concept of the big size and the small size. So once he will acquainted with the big size and small size, then we can go with the parallel lines. In between the parallel lines, we have to start writing. So once we will start practicing, once we will come to know that no child without the parallel line, the child will able to write properly, then we will shift to the plain paper. Then only child can write properly. This is the answer, sir. I hope, ma'am, I'm clear.
Ma'am, is there any book which answers all these questions, about writing, where we can go through all this? Is there any book?
Actually, ma'am, we are in the process. As our sir is taking the lead of this, we are in the process for all the queries what we are getting from the parents. It will be released soon, ma'am. We are just working over it, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, can you name the adaptive device for handwriting, ma'am?
Adaptive device like you can that we are telling, ma'am, hand gripper and some hand splint also. Okay, ma'am.
Oh, okay, ma'am.
So like hand gripper which we can get it in the online, or else even at home also you can make. Like if the child is not able to hold the pencil properly, then you can use the cloth, or you can use some cottons to make it little bit thick, so that tripod grasp will come. Okay, that is what we are calling as a modified pencil. Okay, and the splint, if the child is not able to stabilize the hand and the hand is having the second movement, then we can go for the that ball is there, and we can make a hole inside the ball, and we can fix the pen or pencil, so that once the ball will be stable, we'll ask the child to hold the ball. Okay, so what will happen? It will help the child to stable the hand. So we can tell it the adaptive pen also. Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, Nibedita ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
One more
Yes,
participant. Yes,
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 sir.
ma'am. One more participant has asked
Yes, sir.
about if child
Hello?
is giving less pressure
Haan, sir.
or excess pressure in pencil
Haan, sir.
and not writing in straight line,
Haan, sir.
what are the home-based activities can be given? We can take this question as a last Q&A because we have to consider the time. So
Haan, sir.
there is a one more slot they have booked by using the same G-Shoot. So I request all the participants to write down your questions any queries, you can please write to us through our email ID. I have given it there already. Please write to us. And ma'am, you can please give your suggestions. What are the activities can be given if the child is exerting less pressure or more pressure while writing? We can take this as a last Q&A session.
Okay, sir. So, if the child is having putting the less pressure, then we can use the wedges. Like we can make the child in the lying position, and we can ask the child to put the pressure on the elbow, and we can ask the child to write on the hand, or we can put the child in the upside down position, and we can ask the child to write on the pencil. Okay, and if the child is showing the excessive pressure on the right while he is writing, the child is showing the excessive pressure, then we can do we can ask the child to put a little, like we can give the child a halka, like a lightweight pencil, lightweight pencil, and we can ask the child to put a appropriate pressure, like a kind of same procedure we can use, but we have to make the child to stabilize the hand person, and we can ask the child to write on the paper. Okay, ma'am. And we can and for, if the child is putting the less pressure while writing, we can make the, like we can put some we can make some adaptive device for adaptive things for the pencil. We can wrap something on the pencil to make it a little bit thick, so that the child can able to hold the pencil in a proper way. And beside that, we can give a hand-based activity, like we can give the cutting and pasting activity, we can give the beading activity, we can give the plate of dough activity, and we can give the pegboard activity also at home, which will help him for the to express the proper pressure on the while writing.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. So I feel we are at the end of the session.
Okay,
on behalf of the participants and from the department, I really thank you for sharing your knowledge and your experience. The inputs, whatever you have given, I feel it would be very useful for our parents as well as to the younger professionals. Thank you once again, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
On behalf of the participants from our department, I would like to thank our head of the department, Sri Santosh Khanna sir, and our director, Sri Nachiketa Raut sir, for their support and their encouragement to conduct such the program. I would like to share the information that we are keep on getting more number of participants to our webinar, which shows you are more interested to attend the program, and I feel that we are sharing the best information to you people. Thanks for your support, and thank you all. If there are any queries you are having, you can share those queries to our email naepmdot@gmail.com. I'm sorry to share this information that due to lack of time which we have allotted, we are unable to address all your issues. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Nivedita ma'am. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you, sir.
With your due permission, I am just ending up this session. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.